Okay, so welcome to part 4 of the course orientation videos for EH 141, which is oral communication. We just finished talking about course navigation, and now we're going to look at just some tips for success. Let me get back to where that was. Okay, there we go. So don't assume this is an easy A. One mistake that students have made in the past is to assume that the first few assignments are super easy, then the whole course is going to be. I don't intend for it to be difficult. I intend for it to not really be progressively, like have the same level of challenge throughout, but to add more concepts as we go. But it's the things that would be hard for you at the beginning of the semester should become easier as you go, right? So the class more is added. I don't really think it gets progressively more difficult, but what you do on the first speech is not going to be acceptable for the last speech. So uploading speeches, something that has happened a lot in the past is that students have tried to upload speeches that were on full HD, and the speeches were like 3-4 gigs for like a 5-minute speech, and they either took forever or wouldn't upload to Canvas at all. So use the standard or low quality format. You don't need to use full HD for these. As long as I can hear you speaking and see you, we're fine. The app has limited functionality compared with the browser version of Canvas, so use the browser version if you can when possible, even if it's on the same device. So let's say you're logging on your phone and it's not allowing you to upload the speech through the app in Canvas. Try going to the web-based version, the browser version, like Canvas, infrastructure.jsu.canvas.com, that thing, and see if that works, because sometimes just changing the version of Canvas helps. If uploading to Canvas doesn't work, I do allow you to submit to YouTube for all speeches. You can just use the YouTube link instead of uploading it to Canvas, and Canvas will tell me what to do from there. For whatever reason, Apple devices do seem to misbehave more than other platforms. I've seen a lot more problems with them. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're planning your speeches. I know you may only have access to an Apple device, but if it's all you have to access, you may want to give yourself a little bit more time, because there seem to be more issues with speeches uploading with that. And let me know if you have technical problems or if you can't do something that's being asked. I'll try to work with you and find a way to help you succeed in the class with what you do have. Carefully read the instructions for each assignment. Assignments do change as the semester progresses, and any speeches or assignments that don't follow the instructions will not get full points and may even get a 0. There are rubrics for you to review for all speeches. I'm still updating them after, I think, Module 5 hasn't been fully uploaded yet, but the others you should be able to see, and they'll tell you what I'm looking for in the speeches. Plan ahead. I know waiting until the last minute is tempting, but it's rarely a good idea. Technology likes to misbehave at the worst possible times, and stress leads to worse speeches. I do recommend that you rehearse and plan ahead for most assignments in this class. It will make a huge difference, even if you just do a couple of rounds before you actually record, to help you know what you're going to say and to help with delivery. I have student hours. I mentioned earlier they're between Tuesday and Thursday from noon to 2. Even if you email me outside of that, I do try to respond to all emails within 48 hours except on weekends. If you email me and I don't get back to you within 48 to 72 hours, I probably didn't get the email. Feel free to send me another email and just tell me you'd sent me one before and I didn't respond or I didn't get it. I'm not ignoring you. It's, again, this is an online class and we all have to kind of know that technical issues can happen. And don't be afraid to contact me about anything you need help with. I'd rather take the extra time to help you than give you a bad grade. I really don't like giving bad grades. It makes me feel like I've failed as a teacher. So yeah, just if you need help, ask me, and I'm here for you. And more on needing help, if you need help, shoot me an email. Schedule a tutoring session with our Writing Center or ACE if you don't want to shoot me an email for whatever reason, or log on for a session with tutor.com. So this is just a brief overview. We already went through the syllabus, but there is more information there. This does not replace the syllabus. And there are other documents in Module 1, the course notification module, the tips, and the full schedule is in the syllabus that you can go to for more details on any of this. I'm not going to go through the course navigation and the tips documents with you because a lot of it is going through the same information with more detail, and we've already gone through it twice with the syllabus and with this overview. But you should check those out and at least kind of skim over them because they do have some helpful tips and tricks. So that brings us to the end of that. Let me go back over here to the modules. Let's see if there's anything else we need to look at. These are those two documents I was talking about, the tips for success in course navigation. And if you click here, you can upload them to your computer just like we did with the syllabus and with the course overview. This is the COVID sub-module. This has the information that you will need for the COVID quiz. I think all the links are fixed. There were some problems with that last semester though, so definitely let me know. And then here are the assignments that are due. So these first two are pretty self-explanatory. These are the quizzes. The Getting to Know You discussion board is here. It's just kind of a standard discussion board. So in a post of at least 150 words, please answer the following prompt. What is your name and major? What are some of your interests and passions, and why do you enjoy those? What do you hope to learn in this class, and how do you hope it'll help you in the future? You can also feel free to talk about any anxieties that you may have, whether it's about COVID or English or public speaking, but you don't have to mention anything that makes you uncomfortable, or you don't have to say anything that you don't want to say. Please adhere to the standard conventions of English, including spelling, grammar, and punctuation. And to get full points, you also need to respond to a peer's post in at least 50 words, as discussed on the syllabus earlier. And then the other assignment is the diagnostic speech. Here's a rubric. And you can click on it here. So the goal here is to help you become more comfortable with public speaking. It's going to start with a 2 to 3 minute speech about you. So also meant to give us a chance to assess the technology used in this class in a low impact way. Like I would hate for the first assignment that involved technology to be 200 points, which is a fifth of your grade. Because if something happened with the tech, then that makes things really bad for you. So this one's only about 25 points to kind of give us a baseline, help me see your starting point, get us used to all the technology and all that kind of opening stuff. You are not required to do any pre-writing, but you might find it helpful to do so, and you are welcome to use the Getting to Know You discussion board, which has some similar questions as a basis for this. Most people speak at a rate of about 130 words a minute, so a 2 to 3 minute speech. If you're writing it down ahead of time or kind of outlining it ahead of time, it's about 250 to 400 words. So some questions you might have to answer. You don't have to answer all of these, although most students who do well on it end up answering them in that order. And before you start working on the assignment, check out the rubric so you have a better idea of how you're being assessed. And the rubric doesn't want to let me go back for some reason. We briefly saw a second ago. It's a pretty standard rubric that looks at the most important elements that I will be looking at. The rubrics do get more complicated as the semester goes on, but in this one, a fifth of it has to do with content. Is the content meaningful? How is it organized? Is the style and grammar appropriate? Delivery relates to body language and nonverbal communication, tone of voice, anything like that. And then time assesses the extent to which the speech is in the stated time limit. So speeches that go over or under may have points taken off. See, I told you it's not going to let. I accidentally clicked on access deny or on the dashboard and it's not allowing that. So that should be everything for Module 1. Again, if you can, get started on Module 2 as soon as possible because there are 4 chapters covered that week. And I did keep the assignments light to allow you to focus on content, but I really would recommend starting ahead of time because you really don't want to try to read 4 chapters in a couple of days. That's a lot of reading. So that should be it. Let me know if you have any questions, and I look forward to learning about all of you this week.